afternoon, good evening, good morning, your way, depending where you're at. This is your man, always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live on YouTube. Folks, you can't believe it's already about the end of the week. Because Saturday technically is the last week, and I've been busy this week. This is going to be my fourth interview. Usually, I might have here, a couple there, but this lovely young lady took the time out to come here and to sit with me and talk with her, and she has a very controversial name. Somebody think it, but I think she's a lovely young lady. I think she has a lot of potential. I know recently she did an interview with a couple of channels I follow, VD Young Spot and also the Female Body Channel. And she made her announcement that she's going to be competing this summer at Chicago Pro, aka also the Miss International. Miss International used to be the secondary title for women's bodybuilding in the pro level, but now it's been for the last few years pro qualifier for female bodybuilding. So, shout out to Jake Woods. Jake, I want that money. I want that gun. So, I had to throw in my, anytime he talk about Jake, I got to throw in my training day scene and everything. We have here the lovely Miss Hannah Hussein. And ma'am, will you please explain to us how such a lovely young lady like yourself gets to the sport of muscle and masculinity?
A lot of things, I guess. What really got me into it, like what really started it, was I saw a magazine when I was 16 years old, and it was I want to say it was the cover of Flex magazine. I can't remember the name of the magazine. I ended up buying it. I wish I still had it, but so I saw a female bodybuilder on it. Still don't know who she is. We were actually talking about this on the female bodybuilding podcast. We were trying to figure out who it was, but I saw that. I didn't know women could look like that, and that kind of started it.
Mm-hmm. So you were 16. What year were you born?
1990.
90. So clock it back. So that was 2006. They will still have women in bodybuilding in the magazines after a while. After about the it could have been an old picture of maybe Kim Zavetsky, or if she was blonde, like you said, it was either probably Kim Zavetsky was the 4-time Miss Olympia back in the 90s, or it might have been somebody else. I mean, that's one person, because remember you said it was black and white. I remember back in the day, I still got a bunch of Flex magazines in my collection in a storage room with my comics. I remember back in the day, they used to have pictures of women bodybuilding. They used to have 10 to 5-page spreads on women's bodybuilding, especially like the Olympia. But the last few years, the muscle mags push the women out, and and they're just not that many anymore. I mean, it's tough. And I gotta say, somebody you're that young to find an interest in bodybuilding, because when I got to, same thing with the muscle mags too, because my brother used to play football here. He used to use the muscle mags to use the workouts, like guys like back in the day, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lee Haney. You had also guys like Dorian Yates coming up, a good part of the 90s and 80s. And then something about y'all women, I don't know. It just kind of, especially I was coming up, I was like, yeah. Oh, she did a pose for you schmoes. Yeah, okay, guys. Hey, guys, calm down. I mean, all right.
There's a lot to like about it. I understand. I just saw, I like the way that it looked. It's kind of just that simple. Like there was more that went into it, but like just for simplicity's sake, that's kind of it. I just like the way it looked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's good that you found that you really liked it and you enjoyed it. And like I said, it's a tough sport. Like a lot of people got to recognize that. You ladies have to make a lot of sacrifices, especially time. You got to put in the work here. And people don't understand that bodybuilding is not just like, okay, pop a few magic pills and lift a few weights. You have to follow a diet. You have to be consistent. You have to work out. You have to, rest, everything. The little pills that everybody knows about, those are just only a factor of everything else. We got people that's come in. My man, JC Dub, he says, greetings, Hannah. He's excited to see you. Also, he says, I know that Stephanie Watts is a good friend of yours, and she was just on George's YouTube podcast in an interview a few days ago. Where and when did you two ladies meet? Yeah, when did you, Stephanie, meet? Because I know y'all do I saw you do a lot of photo sessions before together.
So we met, I want to say over a year ago. And she contacted me wanting to do a photo shoot with me. And she's going to have, if she remembers, she's gonna have to tell you the whole story, because I think what happened was she wanted to work with Eric Gomez, EG on Instagram, and somehow the conversation of me came up because Eric and I are pretty good friends. I've worked with him before, and I guess the conversation of me came up, and she said something about wanting to shoot with me, or I don't know. But so we met over a photo shoot. She wanted to come here and shoot with me because Eric is here in Houston. And we kind of just became really good friends. So it's been probably over a year now. And yeah, we met actually we officially met at the airport because I went and picked her up. But we met on Instagram. So yeah, that's how we met.
That's good that you two ladies have a common interest, especially in bodybuilding. And Steph is a great young lady. I mean, I enjoyed our interview together. She has a lot of supporters like yourself here. I got guys right here coming here right now. Oh, we got my man here. Lawrence Perkins says, "Good afternoon, Hannah, George, and J Dub. Everyone in the chat coming in as well. Yeah, thank y'all. Thank you, man. And also, my man JC Dub says this. He says, rest in God, Chadwick Boseman." On your shirt, George, love the guy. Wakanda forever. Yes, Wakanda forever. Yes.
I like your shirt.
Yeah, I got it a while back. I loved him. He was just so great in that movie. I mean, and I just, it's not the Wakanda forever movie wasn't as good. They could have did some of this. I know they didn't want to, replace him. They could have. I mean, there's like there been dozens of Batmans, dozens of Bonds, dozens of other heroes, but it could have replaced him. I mean, the movie would have been better, in my opinion. So anyway. Now, as you said, you're doing the Miss International, which is as you know, it's a pro qualifier. It's been around for at least about 6 or 7 years. Back in the day, it was originally one of the secondary titles for women's bodybuilding. It was part of the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. Before then, it predated the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic because it was originally called the Columbus Sports Festival, but because it wasn't doing so well, Arnold slapped his name on it, and it was like you had men's bodybuilding, you had Miss International. And that was back in before you were born, maybe about 5 or 6 years before you were born. It was like in the 80s. But then around about the late 80s, early 90s, it became the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic. But as you know, as I talk about this, and I've often on my channel, Arnold, about like I said, back in 2013, after 2013 Miss International, he walked quietly behind women's bodybuilding and stabbed in the heart. And it's not fair that there's so few opportunities, especially as you as an amateur and you're a bodybuilder. I know it's hard to find shows because I know you competed at the Nationals that same year with Chester Dion and Alexa Castro, and you didn't do as well as you thought. What was that feeling when you feel like I was close?
Honestly, I did better there than I thought I was going to because it was my first time in that category. I was just hoping to get top 5. And I knew my conditioning was not where it needed to be. So I felt like I wasn't disappointed in my placing. But no, so I heard this year that there's so few women bodybuilders that they're not even giving out pro cards. Like, that's become an issue, I believe.
Yeah, I think the problem is so many competitors thinking if I go to women's bodybuilding, I lose my femininity. But like I said, you're a very attractive young lady. Also, Stephanie's a very attractive young lady, but she's doing physique. I think it's only other than nationals. I think you still have it nationals because that's going to be in your neck of woods in Texas coming up. There's also the Romanian Muscle Fest. That's Alina Popa's show. They have amateur player. One lady last year, she qualified her pro card by winning both women's bodybuilding and physique.
Yeah.
And I said, that's like, I had a lady I did an interview a while back. She lives in Denmark, and her name is Isa Fabia Salar. And I told her, do that show because possibly you can probably get your pro card. But we have one woman doing both ways. Like I said, this thing is, if you have opportunity, we go to a show because with physique there gonna be 30, 40 girls at that show. You should take the chance and jump over and do, because all you gotta do, hey, you win your pro card. And we get a pro, here you compete as a physique card as you want.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in the industry right now. But I don't know. It's not discouraging to me, I guess, because I always feel like there's going to be ups and downs. And we saw the Olympia take women's bodybuilding out for a couple, for I can't remember how many years. They
At
did
least
bring it
10
back.
years.
10 years.
Almost just about. It was back in 2014 when after 2014 Olympia, they announced it. And then that was at least they brought it back in 2020. So almost like I said, 6 years. I'm wrong. 6 years because then come back to 2020.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but I feel like that's it for this kind of industry. It's always going to be like that to an extent. I feel like it could get better. It could get in a better standing with like the audience, with the fans, even the athletes, but for the most part, something like this, because it's not mainstream, it's not, it's never going to be like the NFL or anything. So I feel like we're always going to have these ups and downs.
Yeah, that's true. Because back in the day when I was coming up, you could catch bodybuilding on like network television. NBC used to show it. ESPN. My family, we lived out of the country. We didn't have cable until we moved into the city, and ESPN used to have bodybuilding. And I think Fox Sports used to have it. But then I think around about the 2000s, where I think was that it kind of just dropped it. I mean, it used to be on the world's strongest women on ESPN. Like, we had people like, I think Jill Mills, a couple of some of the ladies were bodybuilders who were also powerlifters. And eventually they dropped it. But it's just, the problem is that I think because the fact is that the ideology of women with muscle is kind of offensive to many of the regular people. I mean, like, I know you get comments where people say, "Wow, why you want to be like that? Why you want to be so buff? Why you want to be so big? I mean, why do you want to be like a man?" But folks, right here, this is a very attractive lady. I don't see nothing manly about her. I don't. She got look like her complexion, her skin, a great physique. I mean, I've talked about Yummy Chow before, and I would say like this: if people hate for no reason other just to hate, let them hate till they can't hate no more. Okay, we got a man here. JC Dub. He said, "Looking great, Hannah. Bicep traps and shoulders spot on is good. Also, good luck at the Chicago Pro. I'll be rooting for you." Also, JC Dub says this: "You should have a calm, gentle, sweet, lovely vibe about you, Hannah. I really appreciate that about you as a person, and just wanted to let you know about that." This is the thing is, we get this is the thing is, it's like the episode of the Chappelle Show when Charlie Murphy met Prince, and the Prince is hanging out with that guy Nikki Free. I think that's my favorite part next to the Rick James one, where he says like Nikki Free's not a dude, and they act like you're like you act like you're Nikki Free, saying Shalimar got a new girl, she's fine as a motherfucker. And George got a new girl, she's fine as a motherfucker. They all coming in here, dudes, calm down, stay down.
Thank you. That was really nice, though. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's my, I say I'm a man from the South. It's my pleasure to let a lady know she's a beautiful woman. I don't want you to be beholden to me, but But anyway, you're doing the Miss International, and all you have to do is win in your class, and you get your pro card right then, and then overall you get to go to the Rise Feet. The last couple of years didn't have any women's representing the rabbits. I think it was one lady who won last year. She's from Australia. She was much older. She beat a lady who I met a while back in Fayetteville. And then also a couple of ladies who did that show, also ladies who had the interviews I know, Amanda Schnooks, and also, Yetta Mae Hensel did that show too. Now, where are you going to compete in? What class you think you are? Are you more of a middleweight or are you going to go to heavyweight?
I don't know, honestly. Sorry, my sister is calling me.
Sorry.
So I'm not trying to. So the first time I competed in women's bodybuilding, which was the last time I competed, I know it's confusing. 2020 was the first time I did the female bodybuilding category, and also the last time I competed. I was in light heavyweights. I think I'm going to be in a lower class this time because I'm very close to my stage weights. I'm 10 weeks out as of, I kind of miscalculated. So last week I said I was 10 weeks out. I'm actually technically 10 weeks out this week. But so I'm close, 10 weeks out, I'm close to my stage weight. I think I'm going to be in a lower class because I was in light heavyweights by a pound. So I was 9 pounds lighter than everyone else. What pushed me into the light heavyweights was that 1 pound. So I was at the bottom. I think I'm going to be in the class below that this time. But we're not really aiming for anything. So we're not going in, saying, oh, trying to get to this class. We're just kind of going, because I feel like when you start trying to hit a weight class, you sacrifice some things. Like if you're trying to hit the top end of a weight class, then you're having to, manipulate things that you normally wouldn't. I don't really want to do that. So I kind of just want to go in, and if I'm at the bottom of another weight class, then it is what it is. And maybe from there we'll start, focusing on the weight class. But as of right now, because it didn't really, to me, it didn't play that big of a role. Like I said, I was 9 pounds lighter than everyone else. I still got third. I still take that as a win. And as I continue to get my feet wet in this category, I think we'll start manipulating those things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so it sounds like you might be doing middleweight. And the last couple of years, you didn't have any middleweight competitors. Maybe you have maybe a couple, because as long as you can win in that class, the pro card, and then you feel like you want to jump in and be stomping with the big dogs.
So Chicago Pro, there's a pro show right after that. So if I do get my pro card, I can go directly to the pros, which I will. I'm not expecting to, win it, but just to see how I do. Yeah. And then go from there, because, there are some things I feel like I'm just now getting to the point where my conditioning is competitive, and so it's kind of new to me. So I feel like having so I'll say this, I'll be okay if I need to take a couple more seasons to really, really nail that, if that makes sense, on the pro level.
Yeah, I understand that you want to. The thing about saying, like I said again, it's about the process. And like I said, you're still developing, you're growing as a competitor. You gotta work on a few things. Come in because you want to come in just right. You want to hit that pinnacle where you're at. Where you want to come in peeled, how they say it. You want to come in like how AJ said. You want to be big freaky chick. You want to come in peeled. And I said, I pick on AJ yourself, and he picks on me. But like I said, we got here my man Emmanuel Cantu. I think that's his name, Cantu.
I love him.
Yeah. He says, beautiful goddess. Oh, he's a fan of yours. And also, JC agrees with you. She said, yes, she is, Emmanuel. Also, my man, Lawrence Perkins says, I remember that too, the world's strongest lady and men. Yeah, I remember back then. And also, Emmanuel says, gorgeous voice, Hannah. I mean, yeah, he likes you. And also, he's picking on you also, Emmanuel. My man, JC Dub. Emmanuel Cantu, you're a hardcore schmo. I can see, huh? Like I said, it's called a compliment, George. I know it is. I know it's a compliment. I understand that. But yeah, as yourself, as a competitor, it's tough, especially this sport can be draining physically, mentally, financially. I know. I saw that you're on a particularly site that everybody knows of, which is OnlyFans. A lot of bodybuilders do it. You're not the only one. I mean, so back in the day, there used to be Backpage, and what the government did was shut it down. But somebody has got an idea. So let me create this thing called OnlyFans. I know I do content on ladies who do OnlyFans. I know women who are MMA fighters do OnlyFans. And I saw that which interview with AJ and JB said that it's been lucrative for you. So it's really something that a lot of women can use, especially the way you make money. Not everybody will want to do it because it's not their thing, but it's anything. It's a way to help pay for especially the cost of your posing suits, travel, food, your coaches. Just almost, especially as an amateur, there's not as many incentives for you unless you have a sponsor.
Yeah, that's true. I actually do have good sponsors right now. I've been sponsored by Centrex for, I want to say, 4 or 5 years now. And then I just picked up a sponsor, Rock Hard Bodies. They're amazing. I love them. I love their products, and they treat their athletes really well. So I've been lucky in that sense. But the OnlyFans thing, I used to do personal training full time, and literally, I couldn't live off of it. Even if I didn't bodybuild, there's not enough time in the day to make that a full-time career, in my opinion. Especially if you're working for a commercial gym. The OnlyFans thing, I will say, not only has it allowed me to pursue bodybuilding full time, I genuinely enjoy it. I'm not just doing it for the money. it's something that I actually enjoy. It's like outside of, so bodybuilding is my number one, right? But this is a very close second, in the sense that it's like it's like a safe space for me almost. I can kind of like be myself, and that's a side. It's a side of me that I don't put out in the world on a regular basis, right? Um, so it's more than just an income for me. But I understand that, you know, some people will have opinions on it, and that's fine. It's not for you, then don't go looking for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you know what, you got to live for you. You know, and it used to be this movie. Just you didn't see it when it came out because you were too young. It's called Players Club with and there's a part where the one woman who played her, you know, it was who was it I know her name, but I forgot, escaped my mind. How she said to her friend, say like, don't you make the money, don't let the money make you.
Yeah.
And that's what you're doing. You're making your money. And you know, and like I said, if guys got the money to throw and say, you know what, I'm gonna jump on OnlyFans, I'm gonna look at Hannah, I'm gonna have some fun. That's their choice, you know. And you say you work your one of your sponsors is Rock Hard Bodies.
Mm.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. That's a crazy thing because you know I remember a while. You used to be back in the day. I used to be on this message board, and I used to. It was like dedicated to like big fans of female bodybuilding. I mean, this guy told me to say like, there's a saying like, when you ladies are rock hard, we're rock hard. And you know,
Okay. I watched your interview with Stephanie and a previous one. You say this every time. I think it's hilarious. This is the first time I've heard that. I've never heard anyone else say that.
it was, you know, I remember it was like, I think I was like, you know, like 27 years ago, because remember I had back there, I had the computer where you have to get like you had to hook it up, so you had to wait till the phone's off, everybody's asleep. But
Yeah.
yeah, and, you know, and then I got, what was that other one? The other one I forgot, and then we went up to, I got Wi-Fi now, but that's good. And I remember I just come on these guys, and you know, we talk about female bodybuilding, and you know, tell me some stuff. And this one guy he used to do this. I know you saw the same interview where I said to Stephanie how the guy used to go and travel and do the, you know, when he was on, he has doing sales, and they caught the guy in the backyard towing him, going. So you know, it's just, this guys can be a bit extreme, especially when it comes to you ladies, because something like I know when I was younger, yeah, I can't help it, because you know, something different for me. You know, seeing, because like I said, I'm from, you know, you're in Texas, and you know, that's kind of almost pretty much like the South, and women around here a little bit more thicker, a little bit more broader, a little, a little bit more curvier. And you know, for me, like I said, I got the opportunity to meet some women in bodybuilding. A while back, I had to meet a couple ladies I did interviews with. You know, at an event, the Amazon magazine release, I got to meet Amanda Schnitz, who's good friends with Miss Marianne Wachowski. I keep misspelling saying her name, but I still got to work on it. And then I went to Savannah. I met people like Lena Popa. I saw Linda Murray. You know, I met Donna Salib. There's one lady who's on my, if you follow my channel, there's one lady whose name I do not speak of her name. I got to see her, and and just being around women like yourselves, and it's just being in awe. I mean, it's how it is. We got here the man JC Dubs and Mario Kento. Hannah, current attire is making your blood steam. Go relax, dude. And just bust your balls, Emmanuel. Just bust your balls. That's all he's doing. And he's saying also, this is my man KL the Wanderer. He says, Hannah driving me insane. Also, he says, the hater is in here. Well, you can hate no more, KL. So folks, we're gonna jump in here social media for a little bit, because I know you guys, you lonely guys, you schmoes out there, you got this pretty young thing in front of you. You can't help yourself, and she's all got her spaghetti straps on, her beautiful pecs out there, just getting hot and bothered. So we're gonna have a little fun here, folks. We're gonna have a little fun. We're gonna jump in here. IG for a minute.
Ooh. Oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I can do that. That's the thing about StreamYard. I say it over work. I'm kind of a caveman with some things. We got some beautiful pictures right here. Oh wow. Yeah. I remember this video here I took, and I posted it in my it was in my IG story. This video right here, and also it's in one of my videos I made. You saw it because you said you liked it. Yeah. And this is just you posing. I mean, great lat development, good shoulders. It's one thing also, good definition. I mean, just conditioning, just got to bring it in. Once you're leaning in, you're going to do pretty good.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that this year will be the year because my body is responding a lot faster than it has in the past. So hopefully conditioning will not be an issue this year. But I was going to ask you, where do you, because one of the pictures you used to advertise this was such an old picture. And Stephanie sent me, she was like, dude, where does he get these pictures? And I'm like, I'm assuming my Facebook, because that's the only place it was.
Yeah.
That picture you used with my 3 other friends, like, that was before I ever started competing. Like, it's so old.
Yeah, like I said, hey, you got to start from the beginning, and you
Yeah.
know, and you look so young. How old were you then?
I want to say I was like 19 or 20.
Yeah, you look a little baby because, like I said, you're only, like I said, you're 5'1". So
Yeah. So
so
5'2", 5 foot. I've been measured at both. I'm on the shorter end of 5'2".
yeah, because really, you shorter women like stuff like I know, lady one Bronka Djokovic, she's like about 5 feet 5'1". I think who else is Michaela Aycock's like 4'11". It seems like you shorter women, you can put on a good amount of muscle because you are more compact, compared to the taller women. Also, want to step here to Stephanie's a little bit for a second. And there's one picture I saw. You were here, Stephanie. I saw that video earlier when we were doing an interview with Stephanie. Y'all posing together. That's pretty cool. Stephanie's a little tall. I think like Stephanie's like 5'9", and you're 4'11". It's not like you feel like you're like standing. You feel like you're standing with your big sister.
Yeah, I always, so every time I post something next to, because everyone thinks I'm tall. When I post pictures by myself, everyone's like, oh my God, like, how tall are you? Like, you look so tall. And then they'll see a picture of me next to somebody and they're like, oh, wow, you're not tall at all. So I think it's just one, my structure, and then two, like, okay, so Stephanie and I have a pretty big weight gap there. So she is, I don't want to misquote. I know she's not any less than like 150. I want to say she's 160. In that video that you just pulled up, the most recent one, I'm in the 130s. And so when I tell people that, they're like, they're surprised because they think I'm heavier. I think it's just I'm very compact. Unless you meet me in person, you wouldn't really realize how actually very compact I am. Like, I can wear kids size shoes. Like, legitimately, I have bought in kids size shoes because they're cheaper. And so it just looks more, I think it just looks like if I were to put on 3 pounds of muscle compared to somebody who's like 5'9", 5'10", it's going to look a little bit more extreme on me because I'm so condensed,
Yeah, because again, it's just like when you're shorter, you can really put on a little bit more muscle. It's a lot harder for the taller women. I remember there was a bodybuilder back in the day, the late Nicole Bass. She was like 6'2". And she really, I think she competed in one Olympia. Then after that, she retired. She passed away about 6-7 years ago. And like I said again, it's just how for the distance, like you just had the Pittsburgh Pro yesterday, and I was looking at pictures of one lady I was following, Emily Sherbert, and Emily's about your height too, I believe, and she looked a lot more, especially from the picture she posts. She looked a lot more dense and more like she was more close to women's bodybuilding and physique. But once you push out that extra water, you come in shredded condition, you look a little smaller than usual. But she looked like she could have been women's bodybuilding. Yeah, we got here my man here, Lawrence Perkins. It says he says, I think you do well in Chicago, Miss Hannah.
Yeah, also, yeah. He's always so nice. He's on my Instagram too.
Yeah. So Kayla the Wanderer, I wouldn't describe you as that, but okay, he's talking about calling Kayla the hater where he is. And a man Lawrence says, Lisa Ray. Yes, Lisa Ray McCoy. She was diamond in Players Club, and also we have here, it's just, the time you put into the sport, and it's a good thing you do have the OnlyFans to pay for. Because like I said, I talk about this, how one thing is that what bodybuilding needs, especially for your competitors, is more incentive. As I think at the Pittsburgh Pro, I think Sarah Villas gave her $20,000, and Sarah took her money again, and Natalia took her money again, you might as well say. And then you compare to the other divisions, which the men, as you know, this is what I call it, the men are bottom bitch. They're the ones who, you know anything about pimping, in the pimping community or prostitution, the bottom bitch is the one that brings the most money for the pimp, and that's what men's bodybuilding is. Yeah. Women, you go to a show, I mean, I remember Margie Martin talked about how, you competed with Chelsea Dion back in 2021. How Chelsea won $3,000 at the Tampa Bay Pro, and then like I said, it costs more for your ladies to compete. You gotta get your hair, your makeup done. You gotta get, your posing suits. And not just the tanning and stuff like you gotta put on. As compared to, you feel like there should be more of a financial center for your competitors, like something like more from assistance point of view.
Yes. Obviously, yeah, my answer would be yes, but I also understand that it has to come from, it has to make sense for the industry too. So, and just being real, like, it sucks that it's like this, but there's just not enough. There's not enough fans. There's not enough fans for the women's side of things. That, in my opinion. Because the male side does so much better with the fans, and it's more mainstream. Like, there's people that actually, that wouldn't be into women's bodybuilding, but they're into men's bodybuilding. And so my dilemma there is, like, we can't put this all in the industry, like, oh, you need to pay us more, if the money isn't there, if there isn't enough coming in for them to pay us, right? And it's just kind of one of those things. I think that's one of the obstacles that we need to figure out, to kind of help that, this side of the sport grow. I know, so I don't know the answer to this, but I can assume the answer to a lot of this is that some people just don't find it nice to look at. I assume that's why they took it out of the Olympia when Iris Kyle was winning. From just word on the street, people I've talked to, they just stopped finding it enjoyable to watch. And that can come back down to, I mean, why is Chris Bumstead the most popular bodybuilder, even though he's not the biggest? Because, it's aesthetically pleasing. Some of the mass monsters aren't pretty to look at it anymore. Let's just, be honest. And that's not, not saying that it shouldn't go there, not saying that these athletes shouldn't be able to push themselves, but if we sit back and, like, actually critically look at it and, get kind of, our feelings out of it, there's a reason for that. There's a reason why some categories do better than others. And to me, it comes down to, is it just mainstream enough to have mass amount of fans? You know what I mean?
That's it. One thing what could do is if it can bring in, like, more mainstream or big money companies. I think about, like, something like Nike or someone like, Coke, who I think Coke owns Gatorade. I know if you can bring in some big, I mean, a while back, a friend would tell me how The Rock wanted to start a kind of another show, kind of like a show between between the Arnold Schwarzenegger Classic and the Olympia. But I don't know what happened with that. I mean, I feel like,
if I were to guess, I don't think that Nike or any of these big companies would pick up bodybuilding because of the sheer amount of deaths that we have in it. Because in other sports, this wouldn't be tolerated. It took one death in the modeling industry associated with an eating disorder for them to completely outlaw the whole thing. Outlaw, size zeros. Models had to go and get checked at doctors and have a clearance. So there's no other sport that lets this amount of obvious deaths from the sport itself go under the radar like this.
Let me correct you on that one. There's one. It's boxing, where there has been like 13 deaths within a year. I know a lady who I follow. She posted on her IG. I said, yeah, because I know back in the day boxing, back in the day, way back in the day, guys used to fight for 100 rounds, and then there was no rules. Then after a while, they changed it. Usually back in the day, in the early days, it used to be title fights with like 15 rounds, break fight for 12 rounds. Because you're pushing your body to the exhaustion, you're hitting each other. There's been deaths in that sport too, but because it makes a lot of money, it's it's one of the oldest sport here in the United States. They overlook that. Like I do also content MMA, especially women MMA.
Oh, cool.
And MMA, that sport, even though they get a lot of recognition, big time, most of the fighters don't get as much when it comes to money. There's been talk about Dana White doesn't pay these fighters. You can, like this, You could be the highest paid, like Conor McGregor. I know you heard of him.
Mm.
He's the highest paid MMA fighter in the world. One of the highest paid, but he's still not even paid higher than a guy who has a title, or don't have a title, who's just maybe third tier boxer, who may just don't have no title. He don't get paid as much, but he did well with that fight with my man Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he made a lot of money from that. My man JC Dub also got to say this. He says, "Kale the Wonder, yes, I know she's driving you insane. Hannah is wearing this entire, plus her natural beauty makes you feel the way, which is understandable." Yeah. And also, my man Emmanuel says, "I'm enjoying the interview." Thank you, brother. Thank you for enjoying the interview. I appreciate when I get support from you guys. And I got a lot of guys in here. I mean, like I said again, they act like they're the booty warrior from the Boondocks. They say they like you and they want you. You can do this easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours. But folks, if you want to follow Hannah, I have a social media self-description. Interested in reaching out to her. But guys, I know it's no good for me repeating this, but it's my stick. It's my mean wall where I like to. No D-pics. Stop it. Get some help. I know. I'm sorry I embarrassed this young lady right here, but it's just some guys out there that get excited. She's wearing, like I said, the nice in her. She has, I'm saying, like, she has great set of pecs, and she's, and I know you guys get a little funny, get the tickle pickle, get calm it down. Don't be that weird guy. And like I said, it is about the sport that you have people on one side who say, what, why she want to be a man? Why she want to be a man? You have the guys on the other side say, well, I like it. I say, I just gotta, it's just what's your experience, your thoughts when you're dealing with that?
It's gotten better over the years, and I don't know. I don't know why. It might be Instagram's new rule thing where they're like, oh, everyone's got to be nice, and some people are getting docked for saying mean things. But I have not gotten a lot. I'll get every once in a while some negative comments, but a lot of it's really positive. And my opinion on that is, if you don't like it, then don't look at it. It's easy to not see. Don't go to my profile, or don't follow women athletes if you don't like it. I don't do it to be accepted. I don't do it to please anyone but myself. The fact that other people like it, the fact that I have my following and the people that do follow me really like it, is amazing. I'll never take that for granted. But it's just like anything. People have their preferences. There's some people that really like dad bods, right? So everyone has their thing, and I don't think anyone should be made to feel bad if it's not their thing. There's been people that genuinely say, I've seen on threads that there's a couple Facebook threads that people will post me in sometimes, and every once in a while I'll go look at the comments, and somebody said this, she took it too far. She would be pretty if she was a little bit less muscular. And I liked the comment, and the creator of it saw that, and he kind of reprimanded the guy, and I was like, no, that's valid. That's his opinion. He's entitled to it. I'm not going to get offended by someone's opinion. So it doesn't really bother me, because I know you can't please everybody, and I'm not out here to please everybody.
Mm-hmm. I think one of my favorite comedians, Bernie Mac, says, boy, just be yourself. If people don't like you being yourself, fuck them. Fuck them in the head with haircuts with grooves in their mouth. I love Bernie Mac. I love that, brother. He was just so raw. I mean, Bernie Mac. And because, you have to understand, you're living for yourself. And if people don't like it, you don't have to say anything. Keep your mouth shut. Mind your business. Go on. If you like, I said, if you like divisions where it's, you're on Switch the Classic, get kicked out. Where's Bodybuilder? Kicked out Physique. Kicked out, Figure. 212 I don't care about, because that's men. But, the idea people want to see is tits and ass. And that's what wellness and bikini is. They feel like that women with muscle kind of thins their senses of ideology. a woman supposed to be soft, supposed to be feminine. Yeah, like I said, right now, you're a beautiful lady. You got very striking features. I mean, and you got these guys in here. I mean, like I said, I mean, hey, calm down, guys. And it's tough, because sacrifice you got to make as a woman. I know, like I said, you have family. I saw your family's originally from Lebanon. Your father was living in Lebanon. And that's your nigga named Hussein, because Hussein's very controversial name in the United States, And you have a sister, you have a twin sister. I mean, that was like, wow. You got somebody look just like you.
Yeah. Well, she's blonde and she's a little bit taller than me, but so yeah, my name, I know it's controversial here, but it's just a last name. It's not something I picked. It's just something that, my biological, and honestly, if I'm being completely honest, my stepdad is who raised me. And so if it wasn't so complicated, I would have changed my last name to his, just because that's the person that raised me. But people know me by this name now, and there's some people that think that like I chose it for some reason. They're like, why is that your name? And I'm like, I was born with it. I don't know what to tell you. So I'm not sure why people get so caught up on. I mean, I know why, but it's not intentional, guys. It's not intentional.
Plus it's a great hook. You can call yourself Double H. I remember when my wrestlers were called Jeff Jarrett, Double J, or R. Anderson, Double A. That was my I used to go up watching old school wrestling. But my other guy always says like this, and he talks. I can tell you something about my father. I guess my father was a drunk and a fiend, and my mother didn't like it not one bit. But he was my father, But you're beautiful, Hannah. I just want to let you know that, and you are beautiful. I'm sorry about the other guy. He has to come out every now and then. He can't help himself,
I understand.
Yeah. I have multiple personalities. You get to know me, You realize something? I'm crazy. So we got my man here. JC Dub, he says, cancer, yes, it's more ways than one. Yeah, he's saying like this. I mean, I got a lot of guys. Also, big height difference between Stephanie and Hannah. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah, you got to think about. And also, this is from JC Dub. What does Hannah think about the tag quail competing at the Pittsburgh Pro and winning? What it's a smart move in her. Like I said, I've talked about this on my channel, and I don't know. This is just me personally. I think when you're the top of the game, where you are the big dog, why come down and get in the trenches with the other? I understand that you want to still compete because, like I said, you and Dietary is just only like I think 3-4 years apart, because I think she's going to be 29 this year. You're going to be 33. And as a competitor, would you want to be on the same stage with somebody who's already the champ? Why are you in my way? I might want to get a title shot.
I mean, it could be her sponsors. Every time we compete, and we get in condition, we get more, attention, more opportunities. So it literally might have been that. It might have just been a good financial move for her. It might have been she wanted to, I saw a couple of comments about fans, really appreciating her competing, and like, oh, we get to see her compete throughout the year, not just once. It might just be that, so like, to me, she seems like she genuinely enjoys competing. And I feel like if I get to the point where I can compete back to back like that and it not have repercussions on, my health and things like that, I would do it. Cause it's fun. Like, I'm going to be honest. Seeing the changes you make every year, being able to display your hard work, it's fun. It might be that simple to her, but I don't know,
Yeah, I think she said she does have quite a few sponsors, and and also you can get to take $20,000 away from Sarah Vilgas. She took a title and then take her money. She did it last year. She took when she competed last year at Pittsburgh, she took $20,000 and then turn around and take the title. And now she takes the $20,000. She hopes she better keep that title because she can't afford. At least she makes some money out of this. This is from a man, KL the Wonder. He says, female bodybuilding just got to be more interesting, more. Some moments it can be a little dull, No disrespect. Yeah, it could be. Also, he says this. I don't know if Nike would endorse female bodybuilding and probably got something else. I'm not just talking about female bodybuilding in general, KL. I'm talking about the whole sport of bodybuilding. There's a lot of competitors that wear, Nike, that use products like that. I remember back in the day, used to be some bodybuilders used to do commercials. Like I remember I saw a commercial with Linda Murray. I saw some commercials with ladies doing Budweiser. I mean, I remember I was talking with one lady who lived across the ocean. She was checking the how bodybuilding exploded around about the 80s and the 90s when you had Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had Stallone, you had Dolph Lundgren, who's going through cancer. Hope he's doing all right. Big fan of Dolph. You had TV shows like American Gladiator. I remember there's quite a few films about it, like Ray Horton, who was Zap, the late Tanya Knight, who was Gold, people like Siren, the late Shelley Beatty, who were competitive bodybuilders. I used to love to watch that show because I'm a muscle person smoke. It was something exciting to see women like that and muscles running around and like that. Also, my man JC Dub, female bodybuilder is more attentive to watch than bikini and wellness divisions, in my opinion, because the fascinating physical philosophy of muscle and beauty on a woman is seeing not. He uses all these big words. I'm having time with him, so yeah.
I really like that take. I can see it too. I really like that take on it. And yeah, that I agree with JC that it is an art form. That's one of the things that I really enjoy about it, and I think to kind of make it more interesting is maybe we lean towards that way. And I understand that there is an aspect of when you get to a certain point, an aspect of femininity that is lost in it. And my personal opinion on that, the hardcore fans might not agree with me. I don't like the grainy look on women. I don't think it's appealing. I think we have gotten to the point. So at the Olympia, like Miss Pretty Muscles, Andrea Shaw, to me, she's the perfect female bodybuilder, right? Like she's conditioned, but she doesn't look rough. You know what I mean? To me, that's ideal. That's pretty. It's pretty to look at. But there is some shows that, there's some women that are, I'm not trying to offend anyone here, but they look very, it's almost like a skin quality thing. And I don't know if that's like diuretic use. I don't know if that's like the drying out process. But to me, when it gets to that point where you start to look grainy as a female, it's not attractive to look at anymore.
Yeah, I know. I know. Like I said, I like these babes. Sometimes, yeah, it does, especially when you diet it down, because that's one thing we got to come in, because you got to come in shredded. You got to, they want you. I just talk about how they want ladies to, especially, I think in a bikini or in, wellness, you can't help but have serrated glutes because it's more about the glutes. But they don't want to see it in figure. They don't want to see it in physique. They want to see it in bodybuilding. But you got to think about it. When you come in conditioning like you do, you go to you get to think about it. You're causing the skin to come paper thin. Just about, and those serrations going to pop up because it's your body's natural muscle under the skin that's showing. I know they don't want to see it, but it's going to happen. Especially, it's the evolution of any sport. If you look at it now, especially divisions overall, back in the day it was just women's bodybuilding. When it first started, and they started out originally more like figure girl, or some go back even go almost like bikini, but it evolved over time. And then the girls now who you see are totally just another evolution of the sport. If you look at girls in figure, they look like the girls. They even look more muscular than the women back in the day. I think in the good part of the 90s. And then if you look like this, you look at physique now. They look like the women from like people like the Linda Murrays, the Kim Zavetsky's. It's just like I said, the sport started evolving.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you are an athlete, especially in sport, it's going to evolve. I know they say you want to reel in, but physique was supposed to be that division we're supposed to take over women's bodybuilding. But if you saw early how you see competitors who are growing up, you saw I did an interview with Sherry Priyami. She's in women's bodybuilding. I know it's just saw Mr. Tyke who competed at the Olympia last year. She's growing up. It's about the evolution of an athlete, especially if you train hard, eat hard, heavy, and you're just going to build that muscle. It's just hard to contain it, especially if you have a passion for a sport.
Well, I don't quite mean like the striated glutes. Like obviously that's got to be part of it. Like the conditioning is always going to be at that point at this level. We're not. I don't think once we're at this kind of level and we're used to seeing that kind of thing, I don't think that's going anywhere. I mean more of like it's like a look. It's like a look in the skin texture, and I think I have a hypothesis that it's drugs. It's certain drugs, right? So take Andrea Shaw, and say put her against someone like Michaela Aycock, right? So they're both very conditioned, both very in shape, but there's a different look. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Like I said, because I think Michaela's about that same age range as you, and with Andrea, she's much older. I think Andrea just gonna be 40 this year, and you wouldn't think she's about 40. And I'm a big fan of Andrea Shaw. She's just a beautiful woman, just an amazing body, and for people who have been in contact with, told me that she's just generally a nice woman, and I think that's why she's do so well, because she has that combination of both beauty, muscle. Yeah. Was it last year? I went to Savannah Pro, in the Murray show. She was there guest posing, and she was like standing right beside her, and Mona Personally did a little pose down for the and even though Mona was really shredded, Andrea, Andrea as they call her. Actually, it's Andrea, not Andrea. It's Andrea, because somebody corrected me, because she's a friend of hers, because they know each other. She said it's Andrea George, not Andrea. She's just, she was like maybe about a month away from doing the Rise of Phoenix, and she still had that nice little jiggle to her, nice good feminine lines to her. I mean, she looked amazing. I got so many comments. They want to ask you so many questions here. My man JC Dub says, what does she think of Emily Schubert and Amandi Coley at the Pittsburgh Pro? Personally, I don't know. What's your thoughts on those two? I mean, they look pretty impressive.
I think they both look great. I liked how do you say her name? Amelia Kelly?
Amandi. I think it's Amandi Coley.
I like her look. I think her lats and her shoulders are insane. Not quite sure why she didn't get second. I'm assuming it was I don't know, maybe they just liked I don't know much about the other girl, the girl that got second, because I know it was Natalia, and then the girl that got second place, and then Kelly got third, right?
Yeah.
I liked Kelly. I'm a fan of her physique, and Natalia too. I don't know much about the girl that got second place.
Emily Schubert, yeah, she competed the last time she competed was 2020 Olympia, and I know Didi did an interview with her a while back. I think a couple of people did an interview with her. She really comes in a lot more dense, and that's the thing is that I know someone who I was talking to. I did an interview with one lady who's a pro. She said for like women that dense and that developed don't belong in physique. Now they say that Cody should go with the bodybuilder. She did an interview. She also did an interview with female bodies and said she don't want to go to bodybuilder. I said like this, no, because she's still young. Because she was a fit competitor. She switched to physique back in 2022. She made a debut in 2021. Switched over to physique, in 2022. Didn't do as well at Portugal. Comes here, takes third. Right, she was just one person away from the champ. And then I think she's planning to do New York. She's like yourself. She's a young competitor. She's still in her mid-20s, and it takes a while for anybody to develop. Like what I learned is a lot of female bodybuilders, someone like Andrea, or someone like Sherry, or someone like Hella Trevino, they really start hitting their peak closer to when they hit 40, because you're getting older, your metabolism slows down. You can really put on the muscle compared to when you're younger, because you're still young. Your metabolism is a lot faster. You can burn fat more, and but when you get older, that fat you get, because it takes fat to build muscle, you can build it, and it takes a lot of time. I got a lot of guys here. They just say, I mean, when I told you coming on here, I got these guys coming on here, and get excited, Also, we got my man here. This is what JCW says. Female bodybuilders literally look like Greek goddesses and comic book heroines in the flesh on stage, covering with oil spray tan to dazzle the audience with their awesome physical presence. Oh yeah, he got said. And also, my man KL1 says she doesn't look like a man. She does not. She's a very attractive young lady. And also, this is my man Bulls Deep. He says, What's your favorite gear to use? Because she's definitely not natty, and that's a big. I'll be talking about. You know, I know where I was talking with Steffi said she just used a little bit of stuff like that because people have to remember that to build this level of muscle, it does take certain things, like especially certain muscle enhancers. Ben, I know a good friend of mine. He told me some stuff is too extreme that he doesn't want to take, but he'll take stuff that will help him get those gains. Because you compare professional bodybuilder, you play bodybuilder too. Like I know David who's a natural bodybuilder, and natural is a big difference between the professional levels. You can't be the big Ramis or Heidi Chopin just lifting weights and not having some kind of boost.
Yeah. So I'm not going to go into the exact compounds that I use just because I don't know if we're allowed to do that on YouTube. I don't.
You don't have to worry about it. Just your thoughts. That's all you need.
Oh, so I mean, I'm not natural. Like I haven't been for a long time. So, my thoughts on that is it's pretty rampant in the bodybuilding community. If someone says that they're natural, I would definitely question that. Because this is really hard to do naturally. It just is. And I would argue, even if you have great genetics, you're almost at a disadvantage if you are natural. That's not saying, not telling people to do it, but that just being completely honest with it. I think the people that are fake natties do a really big disservice in the sense that they're not being honest of how they got their physique, and potentially hurting somebody in the process because they think that there's something wrong with them if they can't attain what, like the Liver King, right? He was like, oh, just be outdoors and eat stuff and you'll look like this. No, that's not how it works. Stop lying. Stop, like, you know what I mean? Like there's compounds that go into it. So I'm not going to give my exact cycle. It's something that I've worked with my coaches and stuff on to get right, because there have been things like I've had side effects and some compounds that were not a good fit for me, and thankfully I found some that were. So yeah, that's it. I'm trying not to give advice here, right? I'm just being honest.
No, you don't have to give advice. Just be who you're gonna be.
Okay.
You just like I said again, you're just on here sharing with us your story and your path. That's why I do this. I reach out to women like yourself who are in this sport, who don't get the attention. You got guys like us, like me. You got the Female Body Channel. You got Dee Dee. You got David, Brian over at Female Body Forum. We like to give y'all ladies the opportunity to share your story with us. I mean, and like I said, I had guys come and say, man, we'll get the big stars. My child's not about the big stars. I would love to have someone like Andrea Shaw. I'd love to have someone like, Baby Sarah Vegas. I saw that this morning when I posted that Natalia won the Pittsburgh Pro. She commented on it. And I'm not a big Natalia fan. I think, she's kind of, she, like it used to be. I remember South Park when the episode where Cartman was like Tom Brady. I'm Tom Brady. I'm retired. I go home to my sexy wife that looks like a dude, and I'm just gonna be coming. I mean, she's not my cup of tea. And, I know she's. I talk about it, I get pressed, but it's not my cup of tea. It's about this. My man Balls D says she's still beautiful, and she is, and she's a very soft spoken young lady. You gotta give it that. Also, he says salute and word up, and and my man KL the Wanderer says this. With KL gets. He says, I think a company could, endorse her, but they got to be into the sport of bodybuilding. Well, she already has some sponsors, but yeah, I think, we can really use more companies to step up, especially where, this year is a bad year for women's bodybuilding. Lost a lot of shows, got kicked out of some shows. Don't have the Savannah Pro this year, which I got the privilege to go see myself. Don't have the Puerto Rico Pro this year. There was going to do a show in Texas, but then somehow they dropped it for everyone. I think the big problem is it's about the money thing. They keep talking about the money. And, this is why I say to guys out there are guys out there who are undercover fans of women's bodybuilding, who have deep pockets. You can spend money, this and that. You can reach out to these promoters and and say, what? I want to sponsor a women's bodybuilding show. There's like one thing we talk about. Reason why they dropped the point system because they had so many competitors here, and but that was another vision like men's classic, women's bodybuilding, a bikini, and also I think wellness. When you have like this guy having one division that's either wellness bikini or men's classic, and like 5, 6 other shows because the fact is those divisions have easy turnaround compared to men's bodybuilding and women's bodybuilding.
Yeah, and I mean that kind of goes back to we kind of got to give them something to want to keep alive, right? So to me, if there's not a lot of support, if there's not a lot of backing on something, we can't really look at people and go, oh, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't, you know what I mean? We kind of have to look internally, like what's going on in the industry or in the sport, and be like, okay, what can we do better to make it more appealing so people want to be a part of it, but I mean, I also understand there are some fans of the sport that are not vocal about it, or that they're, like you said, undercover. Yeah, I don't know the answer to it. I don't know what kind of solutions we could come up with to kind of make it more lucrative, because we do give up a lot for it, right? We sacrifice a lot, not just physically, but mentally, in almost every aspect you can think of, we're sacrificing something. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's something that the industry, as well as the athletes and even some of the fans, need to get together and be like, okay, look, this is dying, and it's we've been on this roller coaster of it going up and down. What can we do to make this solid? What can we do to keep this category in the shows? You know what I mean?
I said that, yeah. Whatever they can do, like guys like Jake Wood, like like I like to pick on Jake because his name Jake said, Jake, I want that money, I want that gun, and and he's doing good things. But now they dropped the Bachelor program last year. I think this year they dropped it, and women's bodybuilding it's been struggling, but again, as every division evolves, you need a place to go. I know some women say that they want to sacrifice their femininity, but as a competitor, as you grow and develop and you hit those, those muscle bellies, wherever else those, you got to go somewhere. You can't stay in a division where you're struggling. Okay, 1 year you're doing all right, next year you're like I said, I talk about Mr. Tight, how she looked the last Olympia, Ashley Jones, all the other competitors that you have to go somewhere. I mean, you look at physique competitors. I mean, also figure competitors who are switching. Either they're going to physique or they're going to wellness. And but you have to go with how your body is going. If you're a girl who has those, like I said, with wellness, you have those natural Afro aesthetics, the big hips, thick thighs. If you have that, good. But don't try to squeeze yourself in a division where your body's more, has different conditioning. We can put on muscle, more muscle than in one area than another. I mean, it's just if you went with skinny legs, you try to compete in wellness, you're not going to do too well. You might as well just go to the division where it works for you. We got a lot of these guys here. My man Balls Deep always dropping this Chicago in here. He says we say salute to JC. Says also same to Balls Deep. Yeah, salute to Balls Deep. Also, my man KL the Wanderer says, Hannah, I would try not to take it too extreme. It's your life, but think about your femininity. And like I said, that's her life, that's her choice. But she's, like I said, she's a very feminine young lady. And also she has a funny little name. I heard on a few about it. She's called Peanut.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, the female bodybuilding channel, they're like, after I get my pro card, they're gonna do some kind of thing to create a new nickname for me because they don't like Peanut, which is fine. I think it needs to evolve too. But yeah, you guys help me come up with a nickname.
Well,
I'm
how
thinking
about
like Double H or something? I don't know.
Yeah, Double H. That's correct. Double H. You come in there. You can come in next time. Like you go to Olympia. You come in playing that Ric Flair theme music. Woo! It's Double H. It's Double H coming into the Olympia. Play Stone Cold like hit the glass and it's just your ass. That's Double H. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, hey, AJ, JB, I'm the one who thought about it. You called me a dummy. You wondering why I'm the emperor because I'm the emperor of bodybuilding. I'm the emperor of bodybuilding talk. I'm sorry. I had to let this out. The other guy had to come out every now and then. We have here. This is from JC does his balls deep. Yes, she's gorgeous. We all know. My man Balls Deep agrees. Says yes, indeed. Yes, she is. Like I said, she is beautiful. And I got a lot of guys in here. Damn guys. I mean, y'all just you're just excited. My man Baldy says, like I said, he says this. I'll put a little something on her phone bill. We got here.
What does that mean? Phone bill?
Your cell phone, your phone bill, how it is, it's a sugar daddy term. You put a little something on you, especially when you get your little young little things. Sugar daddy like to do that shit. Also, this is from this another one. I can't say his name. Mazur. I'm gonna say 932. His first name I know is Hannah is strength, beauty, and art personified. Also, this is from Rolando G's. KL, it's a shame I'm at work, and all you gentlemen have time for Mr. George Page and Hannah Hussein. I'm a little jealous. I'm a working man. It's not fair. Hey, you had enough time to come out here. You must be here on your break or something. And also. He works as I know a friend told me he lives in San Francisco.
Okay.
So yeah, he works for YouTube. That's why Dose and Warrior Pack on deck. Yes, from Man Balls Deep. Also, this is from Emmanuel. Since I have no power right now, I'm going to go now. I really enjoyed the interview, but I need to preserve my 20% battery life on my phone.
Thank you for coming, Emmanuel.
Yeah, if you missed it, if you missed the rest of the video, you can watch it later. You can, watch it when you're free time, when you're by yourself, when no one's looking. But I do appreciate you coming through, brother, and supporting us anyway. And it's just like I said, here's my man. Carol says George knows his shit. Well, brother, I'm a fan of these ladies, and you have to. When you're the emperor, you have to know your kingdom and how you like this. My master taught me this. Ra's al Ghul, the demon's hand. He taught me. Beware seven rounds at all time, young Master George. Never give a sure footing for a killing blow. I love if you know me by now. I love the whole Chris Nolan Batman trilogy. There's some great quotes in that, like especially this guy right here. He loves I'm just a particular type of criminal. I like things like dynamite and gasoline. And Hannah, talk with you now. You know what? You complete me.
Okay, did you like the new Joker with Joaquin Phoenix?
No. I just I grew up watching the old Batman series with Cesar Romero as a Joker. He never could save his mustache. You can see it on his makeup. I grew up watching Jack Nicholson as a Joker. That was if that's what Devil Pay Moonlight, I say to all my victims. And then Heath came along. And he took that Joker in another direction because I have the comic books. I follow the comic books. Big Batman fan. Batman's one of my favorite heroes. He's like up there with Superman, and he just took that character and he just ran. People talk about how it was a reason why he eventually killed himself because of it. It was just he was so entrenched into this character. But it's just I just like the whole how he just took it and just I mean. Oh God, I love that version because it's just Joaquin's the worst has to be Jared Leto's. I never liked his. I just don't know, and Joker's just one of those guys. He's just one of the most popular villains that he already had been. 3 movies he did this. He won Oscars for both Joaquin and Heath, and it's a great character.
I have Harley Quinn comics.
Oh, Harley Quinn, yeah. You like Margot Robbie version because I think she's supposed to be more to play Sue Storm in the Fantastic Four movie.
I did. I thought they cast her well.
Yeah, I figured. We got Mayhem Balls. He says, "I'll call her Sweet Pea."
I actually like that, because there's a lot of people that want me to be a certain way. They want me to be a dominating, which I'm not saying that that's not part of my nature, which I can be. But I think more of my nature is laid back and I guess sweet. So I'd be okay with something like that.
Yeah, that's I figure okay. Call you Sweet Pea, Sweet Pea. I know guys right here from where I live. There goes other guys named Peanut. We got here. This is from my man Rolando G says, right on balls deep. I'm hoping to start my own channel to interview these phenomenal female bodybuilding ladies soon down the road and contribute. Thanks. Got to go soon. So see you later. And yeah, and you also
Oh,
you have a YouTube channel. Why are you not putting content on YouTube?
wait, me?
Yeah, and you don't you
Oh,
got YouTube?
I mean, I don't have a channel. I just have when you sign up and.
Well, it's a channel. All you got to do is put content on it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I don't
Yes,
know
you can.
how to put content on it.
All you got to do, hey,
Just learning how to use Twitter.
well, all you got to do is find the right person who can tell you. Hey, you can find a 14-year-old.
Okay.
You can use your camera, load it up. It's all I do is it'll tell you. There's a little thing like with my phone like this. Like this is how you do it. Because when I started, I just had a cell phone and a laptop. I got two laptops, a cell phone, and a tablet. And all you got to do is when you go on. Let me show you this real quick. You can if you have like a good computer or somebody who can help you out, because I think there's a lot of people can probably help you out because you're a cute young girl and they want to do anything to get next to you, and all you gotta do is like when you go onto your YouTube, you look at it closely. All right, it's gonna pop up if you can see the screen. All right, there's a
Oh,
little section in it where it says it's like a right down here below. You can
okay.
see it. It's like a plus sign.
Oh, okay, okay. So it's
You
kind of
can,
like okay.
yeah, you can load up. Don't mind the crack phone. I cracked dropped a while back, and you can see, right here. You're on the here, yeah. And all you got to do, you can load it up. You can use your phone and record it, or if you have like certain like somebody who do like I know people like Eric Gomez, or I did an interview a while back with Sean Nelson. You ever work with
Yeah.
Sean?
Yes, I
Yeah,
have.
those guys could tell you that because Sean's a great guy. I mean, I reached out to him, told me some great information. He's supposed to be coming to Chicago because I know he said he's going to go to New York and do some photo shots and do also. He's a busy guy. He's like this guy used to listen to. Used to be called the fly jock. He's like the fly flyer photographer. I used to say it. I got so many folks, guys. I can't. Like I said, she's a busy young lady. I know y'all got.
I do want to say this because there's some people that think that like I'm ignoring them on Instagram. You guys, I just learned that there's the message requests, and then there's more message requests like in a different folder. So like your friend, who thought I was ignoring him and I wasn't. I don't know what Instagram uses to choose what it shows me and not, and doesn't show me. But so if you try messaging me and I've ignored you, just message me again and hopefully I'll get it. You guys can message me on Instagram or my Telegram. My Telegram is linked if you guys want to get a hold of me. But yeah, in the past I've had people be like, "Oh, I messaged you and you never responded." I didn't see it because I just learned about the other folder outside of it's like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where it'll be like
Mhm.
message requests, and then it'll say at the bottom, if you scroll, more additional like message requests, and I didn't know that folder existed.
Yeah, because I think I see in my IG sometimes I get requests from some people. I usually if I don't know you because a while back I had this is I mean that was my second account because I have three accounts. I have an old account that I hadn't used in a while. I use it every now and then for like if I want to like make send stuff back and forth because I forgot the password. I have it on my computer, and the other one was on my phone, and that one I use it to talk to you. Talk to me for a minute while I take care of this. I don't know why people are bothering me. Saturday, come on, get a life. I'm just gonna mute for a minute. Just talk to the.
Okay, I guess it's just me, guys. Anyway, yeah, there was a couple people that tried to get a hold of me on Instagram, and I never saw it. Um, yeah, because I didn't know that there was a whole other folder of message requests. So I'm sorry if anybody tried to message me on there, and I didn't respond to you. I just didn't see it. Um, but yeah, so I'm now using Twitter like regularly. Um, so if you guys uh, want to message me there too, I've figured out that that's the same thing as Instagram, and it's another like message request thing that I actually have to go look for. Um, but also Telegram. My Telegram is linked on my Instagram. Um, and so I usually get all those messages. Like I usually get a notification for each one. If I haven't gotten back to you on there, just give me a little bit of time because I do get a decent amount on there. And then of course my OnlyFans. But anyway.
Well, I'm back. I'm sorry. That was my big sister. She dropped something off for me. We got Mother's Day's coming up. And think about Mother's Day. You're still in contact with your mom. What was that feeling when she tell you that, Mom, I'm going to be a bodybuilder? Did she like other moms says, baby, I don't want you to get so buffed I don't want you either because I don't want to. I already got two daughters. I don't want another son. Did she ever?
Um. Okay. So my mom and I's relationship has been a little bit rocky. She didn't approve. She didn't go into that much, like I said. So I bought that magazine that kind of started the whole thing, and she found it, and she goes, "Don't tell me you want to look like this." And I was like, the way she said it, I was like, "No, of course not." And she was like, "Okay, good, because that's gross." And that was it. That was enough for me to try to hide everything from her. So we didn't talk much anyway when I was younger, and even now we don't talk very much. And so that solidified, I was never gonna speak to her about it. Now she's supportive, or she says she is. I don't know if she actually is, but so and it's obviously, I've not lived at home with her since I was 17 years old. So yeah. So it was never really like an in-depth talk of me doing this. It was more of me just doing it and not saying anything to her.
Yeah, I know. Me, I lived my mother most of my life. I remember I used to work at my old job. I used to have like a few jobs when I was younger. I used to work at a gas station. I used to work 13 years in textiles, and also used to work at a booty club. And I had quite a few jobs. And I remember one lady told me while I was on my job one day, said, George, you live with your mama? I said, yes, yes, ma'am. I said, son, stay with your mama as long as you got to. The all you gotta do as a man, always come home to your mama. And my mom, when she got sick, my mom was my woman. I don't have no girlfriend. I don't have no kids. My mom was my woman. We used to hang and ride together. And when she got sick, I said, I have to take care of my woman. And when she died, I said like this, my woman was gone. She was, I love my brothers and sisters. Like I said, my older sister and my nephews dropped something off a while ago. I love them. I was doing laundry today. I talked to my older sister. Her birthday's coming up Wednesday. For a long time, people thought she was my mother because when my mother had her, she was 16. And by the time had me, she was almost 40. Me and my younger brother, she used to say like this, like, you're too young to have the first one, and then you're too old for the last two. But, I could never understand, I love my mother. I know I've got a friend, he used to go to the same thing, him and his mother were talking about, but, it's just, I know she's the one inspiring me to be who I am and do what I do. And when she left, I said, you know what, I don't have a purpose anymore. And I was already doing this because dealing with her being sick, I was already doing stuff on YouTube. But then, when she left, I said, I need to do a little more. I need something to keep my mind busy. So, I started doing content, started reaching out to ladies like yourself, doing interviews and stuff like that. Because, like I said, I'm a fan of you ladies. I think as the young me, I found y'all very intoxicated. And I still do today, but I admire what you ladies do in this sport. Like I said, the sacrifices you made, the work y'all put in this sport to get to that next level. I know some people don't understand that. And I remember I'd be on where I post stuff and guys said, "Are you gay?" I said, "How can I be gay?" It'd be one thing if I had like, well, I have a man crush of Vin Diesel. That's a different situation. I can't.
Everybody.
Yeah, who you like that? It's that voice. Like it'd be a yard or a mile, a win's a win. That Vin Diesel. I was a big Arnold Schwarzenegger fan. I loved Arnold coming up, But what stuff I learned about him, I still like his movies, but the man personally, I'm not a big fan of. But it's about who you are as a person, and time and work you put into sport. It should be rewarded, and I honestly hope you do get your pro card, and eventually get to that next level. We got here, my man JC Dub. He says she's sweet, gentle, and has an angelic beauty about her. He says, I got a nickname for her, call her Angel Flower. Oh,
Angel Flower. That too.
Yeah, that's cute. It could be, could be like that. It'd be double H, the Angel Flower. And also we got here, my man, Balls Deep, Heath Ledger, the best Joker. Yes. I know another one, man. KL says Mark Hamill. I love Mark Hamill. He retired because the death of and also this is Omar Costa. She has to be the heroine in Marvel and DC Comics. If you ever think about considering, like you say, what, I don't want to buy a computer anymore. Would you ever consider acting as a new career?
I don't know if I would be good at it. I was actually in a couple of YouTube shorts or whatever a long time ago. I don't know if I'd be good at. I have thought about cosplaying though. That's actually something I want to do this prep is cosplay as either Catwoman and maybe just do random stuff with it, like make videos or whatever, or Poison Ivy.
If I want to, it's either usually I know some ladies who I follow is either Wonder Woman, or I know one lady she does. There's a Rachel Dance. She calls herself the real Lois Lane, but yeah, a lot of ladies like to do Wonder Woman. I know Sherry. She once said she dressed up as She-Hulk. We need a real She-Hulk because the one they got is she's like a model type, right? It's not like And this is why I remember, because when I was coming up, there was my favorite cartoon was He-Man. My brother's nickname was He-Man because he used to call him that. Was his nickname. And He-Man was based on a bodybuilder back in the day by the name of Tom Plaza. Have you ever heard of Tom Plaza?
I have cats named after Battle Cat, and I'm pretty familiar with He-Man.
Yeah, because you're not that old. Because remember, I grew up with the classic '80s He-Man. About the power of Grayskull, not the bullshit they put out a while back. No offense to that, But here is also from Ballsy. She definitely got to start a YouTube channel. It's definitely you get your shit.
Give me some ideas though, because I have no idea what to post. So
all you got to do is post which that posing you had. You can post that. You can post anything from. You could do some model girls. I know a lady who did interview. She's competed at the Pittsburgh. Her name is Paige. She's a vehicle competitor. She has her own YouTube channel. She does interviews. She posts. She'll talk about her progress. Prep. You just all you gotta do is, like I said, you can use your phone, or you get also, if you know anybody who knows how to work with social media. I mean, reach out to the right people. They're guys, because even your sponsors. They can help you with that.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially, hey, you're the athlete. You can sponsor your product on your YouTube channels. That is something that helps you bring in money. Because with me, see, I can't be monetized because I live on Social Security because I got to be careful about my money. And if you get monetized, you got to at least have I think was it 4,000 watch hours. Plus, you have to have at least about over 1,000 subscribers. I'm a little over 1,200 right now, but. You put it in, especially you got these guys in here, they would jump over there. Like I said, these schmoes,
they're not schmoes. Come on, they're supporters.
Yeah, that's what I remember. This is what a friend told me. Her name is Sarah Fuchs. She told me you're not schmoes, you're friends, and that's true. But schmoes is kind of we kind of use it in the black community. We call it the N word. We take it because that's what we are. We schmoes. We know we get silent ladies on the stage.
But we need that. They're the fans. We wouldn't be anywhere, without the fans. So
yeah, and that's it. As long as we're here to support y'all and to follow y'all, I think that's good. My man Baldy says Peanut could play Hela in the Thor Ragnarok. Guess that wasn't And also we have here, my man Orlando G says, "Wow, Hannah's saying keep the personality that is what brightens my day. Just sincerely, a lovely female bodybuilder athlete." You seem to really care, And also, man, KL, he says, I hate Twitter. I go on Twitter every so often. I found some study. Also, what about email? No, no, no. You know, and also, I can't do OnlyFans. You know, who can? And also, Mother's Day is like Christmas capitalism. Yeah, yeah, that's how it is about it. Every holiday is about capitalism. And Karen wonder why you hate Twitter. You know, and he also says, get a girlfriend, bodybuilder George. I don't know if I can find somebody. I don't know anybody. See, I'm just an old broken piece of meat. I got two bad knees. I still include Steve Austin. I got arthritis in the body. You know, I got a pacemaker. I just had good news. I dropped down under 400 pounds because it was a few years ago. Because dealing with my mother, I was almost 500 pounds.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and and because dealing with her medical stuff, and I was at 8, also I used to work at my jobs where I look late at night, and like I used to work at the strip club, and sometimes I go to Waffle House, and you just those hash browns be tasting good. And I know this is what I ask you something. What's your favorite thing to eat after your last show?
It changed after my last show. I wanted mac and cheese. For some reason, I wanted mac and cheese so bad. This time I'm craving ice cream. I don't know why. It changes every time. Like there was one year I just wanted pancakes. And it's funny because once I get the thing that I want, I'll like make myself sick on it like after the show, and then I won't ever want it again.
That's strange because what was yesterday after I left my cardiologist, my nephew asked me to run some errands for him. Okay, I was looking for because Mother's Day's coming up. He wanted me to get some stuff for him. And I was running around. And I stopped by. One of my favorite things is, everybody knows me. I'm a Chinese loving whore. I mean, I love Chinese food. I mean,
It was good.
yeah, I stopped. That's what they do. We don't actually eat that stuff themselves. It's a hood version they send out to us. I stopped by this little restaurant I used to go to, and and it's a buffet. And I didn't fill up my plate too much. I had some broccolis and so I couldn't eat it all because, like I said, ever since I started going this path, certain foods, it's like I always felt like it was heavy on me. So
Yeah.
and it just I had left so much out on the plate. I said, you know what, I just had enough and I'm done. It's about last like a week or so ago. I just did like a thing where I tested myself. I did a whole week without eating any kind of artificial sugars, no pasta, no rice, no bread. I ate some fruits here and there, drink a lot of water. There's days where, there be times like, man, they calling me, man, they calling me, man, they calling me, man. And I like to eat out every now and then, especially, like fast food, like, your Burger King is one of my favorites. I don't do McDonald's too much anymore. You get the 6 meal, your way meal, that changes the money. So it's just the food thing about it is the important part of bodybuilding.
Yeah.
You just can't use anything. What does your training, your coach get you on?
So right now, it's pretty simple. I'm really low in carbs at the moment. For cardio, I'm doing 40 minutes of stairs. That's a lot, but and then so my macros, we don't really do macros. He kind of just changes every meal as we go along, or whatever meal he feels like he needs to change. So in the morning right now, I'm doing egg whites. I believe it's 60 grams of frozen fruit, and then 20 grams, and which is not a lot of food, of oatmeal. And then my pre-workout is literally just a protein shake. I have an intra with a little bit of carbolin in there, like 10 grams of carbolin. My post-workout is meat and veggies. My fourth meal is meat and veggies. Fifth meal is another shake. So it's very simple, not a lot of food. But that's kind of what it takes for me to get lean. My body is really stubborn. But he has had some high days in there the last couple of weeks, which is pretty unusual for my body. Usually we have to like grind pretty hard on the low carb thing. So in the last week, I've had 2 high days where I had 7 ounces of carbs with every single meal, which is a lot for me. Like I was actually full. And so that kind of tells us that my body is responding to this, that it's responding better than it has in the past.
That's pretty good. And what things you feel like you have to work on, especially physique wise? Because you have pretty impressive chest, pretty impressive shoulders. I mean, what is the things that you were told were your weaknesses, which were your strengths?
So really my conditioning has always been the issue. Um, so the last year that I competed, they said just to put on more overall size for bodybuilding and then bring in my conditioning. And once I nail my conditioning, they said I'll be very hard to beat. That is almost word for word what they said. Um, what I think and what other people like coaches and stuff have told me, my arms and my legs need to come up. So my back and my shoulders are pretty well developed. Obviously, I want to get everything bigger. I want to continue growing everything. But my arms and my legs need to come up to match my back and my shoulders because they're always dominant. And I honestly, I don't have to do much for them. They've always kind of been um, my dominant areas. Like even before I was competing or lifting weights, I would do triathlons. I've done gymnastics, and I've always had kind of capped shoulders. So I can literally do anything athletic, and my shoulders will kind of round out. Um, so I think well, I don't think we definitely brought up my legs this year. Um, and I think a little bit of my arms, but they need to come up some more.
Yeah, like I say is I know what I've often heard some women said that it's the back that make and break how
Mm,
they place.
yeah.
I've talked about how I remember one woman I know, Michelle Boswell. She when she competed back in 2020, when they had the Chicago for Atlanta, she's the only reason why she lost to Teresa Vosick because of the back. You see Teresa Vosick. She's going to be competing, I think Toronto in about a month, and she has big shoulders. She used to be a lot bigger when she was in the amateurs, but she
Mm,
really slimmed down a little bit, and she did physique for a minute. But the thing is that she needed to bring down a little bit of muscle because, like I said, I talk about this how the lines between bodybuilding and physique are starting to blur,
mm,
especially between women's bodybuilding, women's physique. If you look at people like, instead again, Natalia, who just competed yesterday. You look at people like Sarah Vilgas. You look at people like Andrea. You look at people like so many other like Angela Yo. I mean, then you look over the figure division, like you look at Jessica Badilla Reyes. You look at Lola Montez. You look at those women. And so again, it's the evolving evolution
yeah.
of what they want to bring in. They say it again, they want the more feminine lines or feminine looks. But when you don't put down specific guidelines and criteria, you're gonna have girls coming in here much larger than girls who say, they're more physique than our bodybuilder. You
Yeah.
we have here it's for men, Kale the Wonder. He's a big fan. Stick to cosplay, or if you want to be an actor, you can't be shy. My sweet, don't be shy. Just
That's
speak
what
up.
I'm
Say,
afraid about is I am shy. So
don't be shy. Like I was a little shy too, but you know what? I got older. I had to come out of my shyness. Especially when I got to meet ladies like yourself, and like I said, I was like, I don't know what to say because she sound and just But I said, you know what? You just gotta like Sean told me, just go up to him and just talk to them and let them know, hey, what to say, hey, I like you, I'm a fan of you, I want to just let you know that. If she would cosplay, I would see her as the Amazonian warrior from the Mestria. That's from one woman's from.
uh,
Also, my man, KL, Georgia could do holistic things like meditation, exercise, and also JC Dub says Krispy Kreme is a sin. Oh my God. I remember my brother used to live in the next biggest town over for us was Fayetteville, and that's where Fort Bragg's at. And he used to live like a mile away from the Krispy Kreme.
mm,
One day I go visit him. He said like he about to go to the store, give him some beers like that. What you want? He said I might swing by the Krispy Kreme. I said, if the light's on, give me two donuts and a thing of milk. I'm good. And also, my man Boss he says, Mary Mother Mama's Day if she's a mother, so she's not a mother because she don't have no kids. And also, is she single? I don't know. Like I said, a fine lady like you, I know you got a man because you're cute, pretty young girl. You got somebody, you got some dude. He's like, I like, shh, don't tell nobody.
I like to keep those things a mystery.
That's good. I think you should keep that. You know, he says She could be Power Girl. With Power Girl, you have to have,
Yeah, bigger boobs than me.
I think one person could be Power Girl, Alicia Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's really also I follow Isabel Terrell. She's really got, okay, I got a lady who's a friend of hers that said I told her one time, say Isabel's posting a lot of stuff like, I think she redone her boobs. I said, she made me want to think, I want to go Rocky Balboa, honestly. Folks, we got one more here before we head out because we don't want to take up her time. I know she's a busy lady here. My man says, if she's single, I would love to know why. And you don't need to know that. That's none of your business. Shut the fuck up. And also, well, that's true, George. Yeah, that's true. And also, my man Orlando G says, you guys don't ever want to ask any woman that women don't reveal personal information about their lives like that. Get to know them. Then you'll tell you just your opinion. And that's the thing is, and so again, for a long time, between working textiles, working strip club, I worked with women. I mean, I had a couple of jobs where I worked with just strictly guys every now and then, but I worked with women for long years. With women, when we feel comfortable with a man, they'll tell you, anything. Sometimes they don't want a man to solve their problems; they just want us to hear their problems. And that's why my channel I really dedicated because, like I said, I grew up. Like I said, there was my parents. Like I said, my parents were together for 55 years, married. But my father lived up in New Jersey for 30 years. We're down here in North Carolina, and my mother had to raise 6 kids, 2 grandkids. And, I had 3 older sisters. And, that's why I have a love respect for women because the fact is I seen the stuff my mom went through and what she had to do. And, women like my sisters and, that's why I dedicate my channel to you ladies. I mean, if you go on YouTube right now, there's a 12-11 million channel dedicated mostly to the dudes. They barely ever talk about women's bodybuilding. And I remember my brother and some friends said, hey, talk about this, talk about that. I said, nah. I want to talk about what I like to talk about. And, I don't do this just because, I enjoy doing this. Like you say, you enjoy doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing this because I love to give your ladies, like the friendships I've gained with some of these ladies over the time since I started this. They'll tell me stuff that they probably won't tell anybody else because, what? I keep it confidence. I don't tell nobody's business. That's what I learned. And they tell me information that me as an outsider, I don't know. I thought it was this or that, but then I found out from what they tell me, and I appreciate what information they give me because I'm learning, especially about bodybuilders. I got a friend, he's a former pro bodybuilder. I got a little friend, he's a physique competitor. He's prepping right now, men's physique. He's prepping right now. They tell me stuff that a person like myself I don't really know. And it's good information because you know what? People need to know what you ladies go through, all your competitors, with men and women. As you know, with bodybuilding, especially with women, you put a lot more money into it than men. You gotta wear your guys gotta wear a banana hammock and a pair of board shorts, and that's about it. You ladies, like I said, you gotta get your makeup done, get your hair done. And I feel like this, it should be, should be more incentive for you. I mean, if anything, one thing should happen is, especially when we hit the pro level, you're the top of the top. We come to see y'all compete. We don't come to see, the gym man. You don't come to see the Bob Chickarillo. I call him Bobby Chick. We don't come to see the Sandy Williamsons. We come to see y'all. And I think most definitely there should be a incentive where which, okay, let's make sure as you're paying that pro card every year, let's make sure our competitors have health insurance, life insurance, little things to help them along the way. Something to say you won't have to dip in your pocket. Because I know you have to get your blood work done. You have to get, this and that. And like I said, we had those deaths that's going back to back about a couple years ago. There should be insurance, life insurance, health insurance. Those things that help, like especially this is like, even though it's not like a real job, but like if it was like any other sport, you look at football, baseball, basketball. Those guys, my man Keith, his name Big Keith Williams. I've never heard of him. He retired. He played football for like a good few years. He retired. He said it's a pension, and I think it should be something that you competitors need and deserve to get.
At least yearly labs as a requirement, because I feel like that would catch a lot of things that that hurt our health.
Yeah, because a while back, I was supposed to have a couple of surgeries a while back. I know a couple of people have some issues. I mean, those are things that help along the way, and it would be great, if they do that. But the fact is, It's not going to do that. It's going to do what they feel like they want to do for the best. My man Baldy said she should be a power girl. Which one you want to be? You want to be Bubbles? You want to be which one's the other one? I think
Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls. Yeah.
I was okay. So my twin and I actually did have a thing where she was the blonde, and then I was Buttercup, the brunette.
Yeah, the angry one. Yeah, I mean, I used to watch that a few times. You know, my man Balls, he got to say this. He says, "Nice rack, balls deep." You know, you gotta care about balls deep. You know, with a guy named like balls deep, you gotta
Yeah.
yeah. Also, yeah, that's real true, George. Yeah, I appreciate the man balls deep. And also, if she's single, yeah, if she's single, I would love to know why. Say, nah, you don't need to know why. Shut up, fuck up. And also, Mama Boy, say, yes. What man's not a mother's boy? Come on. You know, like this. I'm gonna deal with you right now, KL. Understand like this. My mother was the woman of my world, and this is true. Say, I know some people don't have a relationship with their mother, but a boy's best friend is his mother, because that's the first woman you ever truly love. You know, especially for us men. You know, with girls, your stepfather, he's your father, no matter what. He maybe not be your father, and this is from Yondo from Guardian Galaxy 2, but he is your daddy.
Mm.
He may not be, he may be, he may not be your father, but he is your daddy. As long as he feeds you and take care of you, you're his. Man, Balti says like, I would love to see Robert Bova in her do something together. Yeah, that's another NPC legend, Robert Bova. Also, congratulations to you, George Page, Mr. George Page, for you parents going the strong. My parents could not get past 12 years. Well, they weren't going strong. They were just, like I said again, he was living in Jersey for 30 years. We were down here in North Carolina. They were just still married. That's all. That's it. When he died, she got to say. Also, we got a few more before we head out because, like I said, I got a lot of these guys in here. He says, Henry Hussein, do you, lovely lady, like the laid back personality you have? Sincerely, like you as a mystery. I mean, yeah, she has a great personality. She's really cool. She's enjoyed this interview. Also, we have here, KL1 said, KL brother, you are correct for do not to get too personal. Saw my parents physically fight my mother. My father already done them. Okay, yeah, and that, yeah, I know. I've been there. Some of my parents with that. And my man KL says, I'm not a mama's boy. Stop it. I love my mother. We were brought up different. Boy Scout. Yeah. Well, Boy Scout, Boy Scott. Boycott, whatever you say. Well, like I said, I guess yes, I was born. I'm from the South, and we love our mamas. Yeah. We only have one, and when she's gone, like I said, if your father gets married and have somebody else, like my mindset says, that's my father's wife. That's not my mother. That's my mindset of it. And this is from my man. I don't know how to say his name. He says cosplay Violet Rat Queens. Yeah,
Who is Violet?
I don't know. This is somebody else. But whatever. But like I said, we're not gonna hold much longer. Like I said, she took some time out here and sit and talk with me and to conversate with me, and she's just a lovely young lady. I was just so excited, when she started following me on IG. I feel like a little girl in springtime. But but I enjoyed this time with you. And as a person who's a fan of you ladies, I wish I could do more. All I have is this platform here, and on social media, and try to give y'all ladies recognition. I like I said, that even women in sport of bodybuilding, women like yourself who's an NBC, ladies in the IFBB. I've done interviews with ladies who are MMA fighters, ladies who are wrestlers. I mean, as a woman, you have to make a lot of sacrifices in the sport, and I respect what y'all ladies do, and understand that it's not about the money for you. It's about the competition. You want to get on the stage. You want to rub shoulders with the best of the best. You want to be the top level. You want to be stomping, like I said, with the big dogs.
Yeah.
And this is what I would say. I would ask you as a competitor, what would you like to see change in your mindset in the sport overall?
I would like to figure out a way to make it more lucrative, to make more sense for us. To kind of give us, like you said, more incentive in the sport. Because right now it seems like a lot of sacrifice. I mean, there's some people that go their whole competitive career, even at the pro level, that don't ever get sponsorships. So that I would like to see the industry place some more requirements as far as like the athlete's health, kind of, like I said, even something as small as blood work every year, like as a requirement. I feel like that alone would just at least go a step in the right direction, right? Because it's not going to be fun to watch when your favorite athletes are dying. It's just not. Like, I was a big fan of Sean Roden. I mean, that was really sad when he passed away. I mean, he was Mr. Olympia, so I don't feel like there's any justification for it, and I realized that he knew the risks of bodybuilding, but that shouldn't, to me, that doesn't justify you losing your life. I feel like if there was more in place to kind of, and also as athletes, we kind of, if we're on like a roll and we're kind of, we have this full steam ahead kind of mindset, we tend to overlook things. We tend to overlook signs of deteriorating health, and literally anything that the industry were to roll out as far as health requirements is going to make a change. So those things, and also I would like to have more of the fans' voice heard. Like, what do you guys want to see? What is going to keep you interested in the sport, so it works for everybody?
Mm-hmm. That's this is a smart young lady. I mean, I respect that. I would say like this, and I agree with that. With Shawn's situation, some of it was a little bit with accusation of a sex scandal, which he was never convicted of, and I think he's broke his heart that the whole sport turned his back on him, and I think he just that could be one part of it. But also, I would say like this: we need people to step up, especially for not just bodybuilding, I know, but also most definitely for you ladies. We have people like, one thing what I think we should do, especially when just strength, they should be like try to get and Andrea, get it on like the big news networks. Like, hey, do a guest spot on Good Morning America, Today's Show, CBS This Morning, go CNN. I think press agents could work for some of these people, because you talk about, because she's a 3-time champion. She's the first woman to get the title after they dropped it. Because I think this is one thing they could have done. And this is what I think judges have a lot of control of. Back in 2014, that last Miss Olympia, they could have gave the title to Alina Popa. Yeah. Alina is, I got to meet Alina. I got to meet her. It's just I was, because she was training a friend of mine, and she was very beautiful woman. I can't lie about that. No offense to Iris side. I follow Iris Kyle. I mean, but she was just a different look. She was coming into she was the next evolution of the sport. But the thing was, why she was double dipping, doing both Olympia and the Miss International, because they weren't paying her anything. If you go to the shows, you gotta look at Andrea Shaw. She when she does the Rise of Phoenix, she does $50K plus a new truck. She does the Olympics, she does $50K. I think with Dietary, she got $40K. Then they cut down qualification. You got to be top 3, except for men's bodybuilding. We all know men's bodybuilding is the bottom bitch. And I would say there should be more, again, incentive. If you give Andrea $100K to do Miss Olympia after she wins, and gives the same thing to Natalia, they probably wouldn't do too many shows. Hey, that's a good chunk of change to have. If Shadi Shepard could walk away from nearly $500,000, but we understand that's why, because men's bodybuilding is more popular. But hey, spread the love a little bit. I know somebody says where she should get that, she's not gonna get $500,000, but at least $100K is enough. Things we as we want to see, we would love to see people step up, say to ladies like yourself, says, Miss Hussein, I want to sponsor you. I want to see you go to the next level. If you need anything from me as a sponsor or anything like this, I want to help you. I don't want anything else from you but to be someone to see you go to the next level. But you're gonna have these guys saying like, hey Anna, you're a cute little girl, you're a cute little peanut. Something about you, it excites me, you got that little dress on, your pecs all out. If I do something for me, would you do something for me? No, guys, stop that. Don't put her in the corner like that. Be a person who sincerely want to see these ladies in the sport to grow and to evolve. And so again, there's guys out there who are true fans of these women. They don't want anybody to know because sometimes it's like that. You're like when you're dating an ugly chick, and you don't want anybody to know you're dating an ugly chick, so you keep her undercover. But hey, you know what? The ugly chick takes care of you. Just say like this. Okay, these are beautiful women. They may not be the beauty that everybody is used to. They may not be the standard of what what people think is beautiful. But these are beautiful women, inside and out. Some may be a little bit more beautiful inside than outside. But truthfully, is, you ladies, you put in a lot of time and work. And I think some people should step up and say, you know what, we want to see you grow. We're trying to figure out something where we can make your division more popular or whatever. Or just like I said, accept it what it is. Athletes, just evolve and go to the next level. They don't tell the guys to stop, hey, coming in is big and huge. Because, back in the day, like I said again, there weren't that many divisions for bodybuilding. Women just had one point, women had, women had bodybuilding, there was fitness. Then here comes figure. Then here comes bikini, which was pulled from something else. Now you have, physique, and you have wellness. And, and with those shows, it's getting a lot harder. I think, I know one lady I talk about says they're cutting down shows for them so much. And, but like I said, it's about people stepping up saying, you know what, we want athletes to hit the next level and to keep going. We understand the fact of, yes, there's the concerns about abuse or use of performance enhancers. They're concerned about how some women don't look as feminine or whatever. But let's say this, if you like the sport and want to see these ladies and gentlemen, keep going like this, support it. You don't like it, here's the thing: shut the fuck up, mind your business. We got a man here, KL the Wonder. He says, KL the Wonder, we return. I love you, Hussein. Oh God, he loves you. Yeah, you. What did you do this man? What did you do this man? You did something to this man. I don't know. It just.
I am going for my pro card in Chicago. It's going to be July 21st. I will be going for my pro card.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine say she wanted me to come to Chicago. I said, I can't afford it because I was planning. I had to get my car fixed. One lady wanted to come see in Atlanta, where the lady Murray said I couldn't do it. I would love to go to these shows, so I can afford it. But I live on a meager expense, and about the end of the month, I just got new tires for my car, and now I'm about broke. So but also this is from the Female Bodybuilding Forum. That's David over there. Hannah is beautiful. Forgive me if this has been mentioned, but does she find it hard to keep up with fans reaching out? I bet she gets tons of DMs. She's really pretty.
Thank you.
Really beautiful, pretty.
Thank you for the compliment.
Beauty. She's a beauty. Yeah. Real beauty. Yeah. And it says, say just try. Yeah, just try. Yeah. And also, I'm gonna finish up these, and it says, for once, your life, just try. Yeah. That sounds right. And also, Hannah, don't mind all the thirsty ogling directed towards you, but I apologize about balls deep. You can't apologize for balls deep. And also, I used to send her drawings and artwork. Well, like I said again,
yeah.
I say this sometimes. I used to talk to them, say like, sometimes you ladies are busy because you're prepping, you got jobs, you got lives. As Mother's Day's coming up, and I do a dedication. I do comparison. I did a comparison video with you and another lady a while back, and I dedicated a lot to the ladies who are mothers. You have a life. You're busy. You got work to do. You got this. You got training, and you don't always have time to catch everybody. I know some ladies. I know sometimes I send a thing like I might request for a lady, hey, I want to do an interview with you. They might get it maybe a week or so later. Say, I just saw it. So I understand. Like I said, this is one thing I learned. Like somebody told me, say, son, don't chase after a woman. Let the woman come to you. And you came to me. You came to Jerome. You came to the player from the Himalayas. Huh?
That's fair.
What?
You did message me first, but that's fair. I do try to get back to everybody. Some weeks are harder than others, just because I have a lot of platforms. Like I have two OnlyFans. I have the free one, and then I have my paid one, and then I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all those things. So it just depends on the week. If I'm kind of behind on things, it'll take a little bit longer for me to get back to people, but it's I can't really complain. There's only been a handful of people that have taken it personally if I haven't gotten back to them. So yeah,
here's these guys don't take it personal. If like this anything, like it's men, I think with men we can take rejection a little more easier than women, because it's just purpose of man's life is to 3 things: to build, battle, and to die. That's it. Oh, I forgot. 4th thing: breathe, because and we have to understand, if anything, this is a sport where it takes a lot of time, a lot of focus, a lot of work, and you can't always, you got to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But if these guys out here feel like, like she's not talking to me, don't take it personally. I tell my man here, sometimes he reach out to women about interviews. Then she'll come back to you, then roll on, move on to the next person. Like I said, there's plenty of women out there. There's plenty of fish out to sea. But we just gotta understand again, you're a busy lady, you have a job, you got this, you got that, you have all your platforms. So again, try and expand on your YouTube also. Because that will help you out.
Enough requests for that, and people give me some ideas of what to post, I'll make one.
Yeah. All right, that's good. Cool. Guys, if you seriously just make suggestions, like I said again, like all you gotta do is like one day when you're not doing anything, just talk about like how your prep's going, stuff like that, or like say think about the cosplay thing. If you know somebody who wants to come along with you, you got a good friend who has like a camera, he records you. Like I think Comic-Con are coming up this summer, I believe. I know there's a lot. It used to be back in the day. I remember Denise Messino used to do a thing where she dressed up, that's a legend. Denise Messino, she dressed up and do comic stuff. I mean, a lot of women do it because female bodybuilders have that mystique of like superheroes. We look at you women, you're just living embodiment of superheroes. We talk about in here. Again, JC Dubs. I'm referring to policy to try not to be thirsty. The time whenever you get a female bodybuilding guest. Yeah, like I said again, these guys come on here, they get say, George got a new girl, she's fine as a motherfucker. They get excited, they just get excited. We got a couple more, and we go ahead, we out. It says, man, JCW says, yeah, JCW, you're right, 100%. That's man Rolando G. And also he says, these dudes made like 5 different dirty off the cuff remarks in regard to Hannah, luscious body, and it's kind of ridiculous. Did you just made off cover the luscious body part? You just made a comment, JCW, luscious body, because like she got her shoulders out, she got pecs out.
Hey, look, okay. First of all, there's not a lot of clothes that can fit my lats, so I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. Where like I know a lot of people bodybuilders like to wear leggings and stuff because sundresses because I think one thing somebody could do is this. I know there's a bodybuilder by the name of Kim Buck. She designed the clothes for the last Rise of Phoenix user a while back. I remember one lady who's a friend of us was talking about you want to do like design special clothes for women, especially female bodybuilders because especially the lats, the shoulder, the back. As a big man myself, sometimes it's hard for me to find good shirts because I got big shoulders. I got the gut in the way. But yeah, I think maybe something that maybe you could talk to somebody might do it. Maybe you and Stephanie. I said I was trying to get Stephanie. She won't come around. I know she's busy. She said she probably watched the video later. But I do appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I got a quote. This is one from my favorite movie, Dark Knight Begins. When Jim Gordon says to Batman, I said I forgot to thank you. He said to him, "You never have to." I love that part. You gotta. Yeah, I know you're a girly girl. You don't watch Batman, so
I've seen some of them. I've not seen all of them.
Yeah. You gotta watch the whole Chris Nolan trilogy. I love that one. People didn't like it because it was based more in reality. How this is one. It's a quote I remember that is from how it said like this: "For order to make yourself something greater than, when you make yourself something greater than what you are, you become a legend." I'll send it to you later. I used to remember back in my head, but it's just like. But we have one more from man Balls Deep. I don't know if should I show it to you or not. Should I? You want to see it?
Yeah, the last one.
Okay. He says, "Stay sexy and swollen." Hannah, there she goes. She gave you a bicep pose, Balls Deep. Okay, she got a little bicep pose after you guys. Okay, put away the lotion in the baby oil. You're okay, all right. But Hannah, I'd like to thank you again for coming through, share your story. I mean, we've been on here for a good while. Usually I have some good conversations. That's why on my platform I don't have, like, any kind of a pre-or question. And when I have these, I like to have a conversation. We're talking about you, but we like to have a good back and forth. And like I said, and like for the other guy, he says, like, I just love talking to you, and you're so you're so beautiful, And again, you complete me.
You actually do a really good voice.
It took me a while to work on it. It's the mannerisms and and just working down. You just like that to be. It takes a lot of time to work on this. My man Ballsy says, "Yes, Lord." So, yeah. But it says, "JC, don't be emotional. She's not a girl. She's not your girl." Yeah. So yeah, guys, she's not your girl. Don't act like that. Some guys, like I said, that I learned sometimes guys act like, especially some of these ladies, the other guys just got out of prison. Say, "You my girl." You my girl. Don't be talking to the other guy. You my girl. I say, I don't even know you. Why you act like that? But we don't want to scare you off. We do appreciate your time.
It takes a lot to scare me off.
Yeah, and and we hope the best for you this upcoming summer. I mean, I feel like you could probably, get your pro card, because like we can use young ladies like yourself to keep bodybuilding going. The new and also aesthetically pleasing young lady like yourself. Like I said, you are beautiful, and I hope the best for you. And this is what I'm gonna say to you guys out there who are fans of these ladies. Reach out to these ladies. Be genuine. Don't be that weird guy when you say you want something for this or that. No, reach out to these ladies and support. Show them that you really want them to get to the next level. If you are somebody, like if you're a group of guys who have deep pockets, and say to yourself, you know what, there's not enough shows in the amateurs, not enough shows for in the pros. Reach out to these promoters. Put your money where your mouth is. Hey, this rich guys, you can write us off his tax. Like Sarah, she put up money for the Pittsburgh Pro. She put up money for Texas Pro. She has a rich husband. He writes it off. If you have that money, you have that way, just go ahead and do this. This is my man Mateo YT, but okay, YT says, Hannah, you always saw yourself in the mirror, and you are beautiful and powerful. And my man, you're still talking seriously. Well, like the other guy says, why so serious?
There is one thing I wanted to say. If people are still watching, they do want to support support our or female bodybuilding, and they don't have a lot of money, they can't just go throw money at it. Maybe even reach out to the promoters and be like, hey, this is what we want to see, or this, or former fans of bodybuilding, and for whatever reason they stopped watching, reach out to the promoters and be like, look, this is why I stopped watching. Like, have a conversation to see where we can, move forward, what we can fix to move forward to actually, make this a solid comeback, which is what I'm kind of hoping to do with my platform. I don't just, I do a decent amount of modeling and art on the art side. So I'm kind of hoping to bring more than one dimension into the industry. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't, it's kind of all trial and error at this point, but I feel like the people that do want to see it thrive and that don't have a lot of monetary stuff to just throw at it, maybe tell us just your opinion, what you want to see, what turns you off of it, what would make you want to watch it more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I said, like I said, this is why I said I don't have the monetary thing to do, but this is why I have this platform.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. It's amazing that you do this, because it does give us another voice. It gives us another place to talk about this stuff.
Yeah, because we need to talk about this. We need to, we need people to step up. We need the fans to step up. We need to be aware that you ladies, like I said again, and just like I said, not just women's bodybuilding, but men's bodybuilding. Y'all need to be recognized as athletes. If there could be a way where one thing is it could be a unionization in the sport that would help. But probably more people worry about their short-term money than the long-term money.
Yeah.
Or sponsors. Like if you can get the big name sponsors like Coke, Pepsi, Nike, Under Armour. I mean, those companies come in there. And it's like he said, you talk about steroids and bodybuilding, but steroids in every sport. There was long ago they had a congressional hearing on baseball and steroids. But hey, those guys, they do what they want because you know what? People let them slide. It's like it's not like really they say it's cheating, but anything, you always want to have one up over your opponent. That's all it is. We got a few more. We're gonna head out. It says my man Ball Steven says I'll support her OnlyFans.
Okay.
And also my man Rolando G says only Hannah. Yes, I will try and ask the question. The organization IFBB. Also the NPC too. and some other organizations, and also Hannah OnlyFans are amazing, right? And so yeah, go check it out, Mateo. Like I said again, if you want to check out Hannah, her social media stuff is in the description. She does have a YouTube channel. I'm going to put it in the description later because
on it, but yeah.
Well, you don't have to be nothing like that. See, all you got to do is they're just going to follow you because it's as long as you got a platform. Like I said, that old movie, with Kevin Costner, if you build it, they will come.
Okay.
And these guys, like I said, hey, next to the time I had Sherry Pirami on here, it's just, I'm getting, wow, I'm just trying to keep up with it. And this is the last one with Ball Thief. She would be Zentana. That's the magician chick from the comics. But like I said again, if you're someone's genuinely interested in sponsoring someone like Hannah or any ladies and men in the sport of bodybuilding, as a content creator, I was just, like I said, back in the day, I just was exclusive about women's bodybuilding. I didn't like physique too much because I thought it was women's watered down women's bodybuilding. But with the relationships I've gone with some of you ladies and information I've learned, I want to expand. I've done interviews with women in figure. I've done women in a bikini. I even done an interview with a lady who used to be a fitness competitor, but she's an MMA fighter now. But if we can do anything for you as a competitor, other than maybe just sending support, like every now and then, like I might make little things like little art and send it to ladies. I made some of this yesterday, and some ladies were very appreciative. They love that stuff because it gives them that boost. Because there's these days where sometimes I've been on the phone talking with some ladies, say, "Take my man, George. It's just a hard day. I just feel like, I just you got to do what you got to do. Don't do this for anybody else. Do it for yourself.
Yeah.
If anything, because it's anything. Oh, one more from Rolando G, and then he'll be the last one. He says, "I'm playing the lottery hard once. I'll get $1 million. Believe me, you believe me. I will support you, ladies." And so yeah, I don't know. I don't play. I used to play scratch offs, and you usually don't get back the money you put in. It's like gambling.
The thought that counts.
Yeah, it's a thought just out. But anyway, we'd like to thank the lovely Miss Hannah Hussein coming through and sharing her, and she's out here doing what she got to do. We hope for the best in the her upcoming show. We hope this is a show where she finally chances to be pro. We'd love to see her lovely like herself hitting up into the big shows. What would, like I say, you go to Chicago. So after that, are you just gonna sit and just chill out and work a few things, or are you gonna do another show after that?
So if I turn pro at Chicago, I'll go straight to the pro show. If I don't, I'll come back. I'll get feedback from the judges and go from there, depending on what they would want to change.
Mm-hmm. As you know, nationals this year is going to be in Texas, so you don't have to go out of your way, because that's a good thing, because I think they had in Florida for the last couple of years, and now they were going to Texas. I know one lady, her name is Brittany Parrish. She said she can do that show in Texas because she lives in Texas like you also. But folks, like I said again, if you're someone sincerely interested in sponsoring someone like Hannah, reach out to her on social media, support her platforms. Like I said again, show these ladies that you really are true fans. Because, like I said, they need the opportunity to get their voices here and recognized. That's why I do this. But here's my rule, guys, and it's gonna embarrass her because she's already smiling.
I know.
Yeah. No D pics. Stop it. Don't do it. I know. I said again, is that whole sports saying when you ladies rock hard, we'll rock hard. But don't do that. Even women who are not female bodybuilders don't like that shit. I mean, I had a lady who was a friend of mine. She told me what she do. She just save them, and when she had guys send a dick pic, she send another dick pic back to him.
Oh.
I did an interview one time where we had a little discussion, and one of these guys, he was married to a figure competitor, and he's a 212 competitor. He said sometimes he'll get, because a lot of the male bodybuilders, because there's a big gay thing to it, they'll get a lot of that shit. He said he'll just send them dick pics back, but
it's the internet. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do? But like I said, thank you, Miss Hussein, for coming through. We wish you all the best of luck. I'd like to thank everybody that came through here. My man Balls Deep.
Yeah,
my man,
everybody. Thanks for watching.
Oh, I think I got one more here that I just saw this one earlier because I've been so. This is one of my. I gotta shout him out before I head out because he is a big fan. Where is he? I saw him a while ago. I didn't get a chance to shout him out. Where is he? Wait a minute. Just before I head out, he is a bodybuilding fan too. He does content MMA. Okay. Where's my I'm sorry, I missed him. There's my man Colin Baker 99. He was here. He follows you on social media. He does content MMA. You know, he's a big fan of Shannon Seeley because I shout him every time. But shout out to you, Come Breaker 99. I saw you, man. I did say your comment. I appreciate you coming through. I know I had so many of you guys coming through here. I mean, I couldn't. Oh my God! I mean, but it's it again. Shout out to all you guys. My man, Balls Deep, Come Breaker 99, JC Dub, Emmanuel, Dave from the Freedom Body Forum, Lawrence Perkins. All you who follow, subscribe to my channel, follow, subscribe Hannah. All you who are just, we really appreciate your support for these ladies. And I said again, you know, just be respectful and be sincere in your support. These ladies can really use it.
Thank you guys, and thank you for having me.
As I said again, you never have to. All right. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy Mother's Day to all the ladies. Also, all you Muslim mommies out there, happy Mother's Day. To my dear mother, Mom, I let you. I mean, I wish you were here. I would trade one day just to be with you here again, because you know what? You were my woman, and you know, and I really appreciate that. But so, like I said, thank you, ma'am, and you know, and you raised a good son, and, you know, and I really appreciate you, Hannah, again. You know, so anyway, folks, this is your mail always George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Like, don't subscribe. I'm out. Have a great weekend and happy Mother's Day to all you moms.
Bye.